Surah Ar-Rum.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alif Lam Mim. Ghulibatir Rum fi adna al-ardi wa hum بعد غلبهم سيغلبون في بضع سنين لله الأمر من قبل ومن بعد ويومئذ يفرح المؤمنون بنصر الله ينصر من يشاء وهو العزيز الرحيم.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. Alif Lam Mim. Ghulibatir Rum. The Byzantines have been defeated. The Romans, they were the Christians, and the sympathies of the Muslims were with them. In the nearest land, but they, after their defeat, will overcome. Meaning soon, they will overcome their enemy. And who were their enemy? The Persians. And the Persians were mushrik. And of course, the sympathies of the mushrikeen were with who? With the Persians. Fi bid'i sinin, within 3 to 9 years. Meaning, within just a few years, what will happen? The Romans who have been defeated right now, within 3 to 9 years, they will defeat their enemy. Right now, they suffer defeat. Soon, their defeat will turn into victory. Now, we learned that in the life of the Prophet ﷺ, this is still before the Hijrah, because Surah Ar-Rum is a Makki surah. When the Romans were defeated, the Muslims became sad. Why? Because the Romans were closer in faith to the Muslims. So these verses were revealed that do not be sad. These wins and losses, they happen in life. And it's just a matter of time when things will change, when circumstances will change. Why? Because within a few years, this loss will turn into victory again. To Allah belongs the command, before and after. Meaning when the Persians won, then this happened with Allah's permission. And when they will be defeated, very soon, again, this will happen with Allah's permission. And when the Persians will be defeated, then what will happen? That day, the believers too will rejoice. Why will they rejoice? بِنَصْرِ in the victory of Allah, because of the help of Allah. So over here, a prediction is being made, that very soon, within 3 to 9 years, what will happen? The Romans will be victorious against their enemy. And on that same day, the Muslims will also be happy. Why? Because they will be given victory by Allah also. And when is it that this happened? The Battle of Badr. That when the Romans finally defeated their enemy, the Persians, what happened? That is the time when the Muslims also defeated the mushrikeen in the Battle of Badr, which was the first battle. Right now, when these ayat were revealed, there was no scene of Muslims defeating the mushrikeen. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving them good news, that stay hopeful. Because you see, this is something very normal. That a war happens somewhere else. Forget about a war. A match happens. A cricket match happens, okay? Alright? Or like a soccer match or something like that. And what happens? People are feeling sad. Oh, our team, they're closer to us in faith after all. Or they're closer to us in ethnicity after all. They suffered loss. And we're feeling sad about it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us a lesson from this. That where one team loses and the other wins, don't think this win and loss is eternal. It's not forever. Very soon, this win will turn into a loss. And this loss will turn into a win. It's just a matter of time. Because this is the reality of this world. Nothing is permanent. Everything changes in this world. What you should really be concerned about is the loss of the akhirah, and the gaining of the akhirah. The real losers are those who end up in hell, and the real winners, the real achievers are those who make it to Jannah. And over here, we are also being given hope that at a time when you see your favorite team losing or your favorite team winning, be hopeful that inshallah, Allah will also grant you victory. Allah will also help you in the challenges that you're facing. Because every day, what happens? Night comes, and the next day is a new day. The date changes. Isn't it amazing? That the year 2000 will never come back again. Isn't it amazing? I find this so amazing. As a child even, I would reflect that, this date is just for today. It's just for today. When you see your teacher writing that date on the board, right? You wonder, when is it going to come again? That date will never ever be written again on the board. That's it. It's gone. Meaning things will certainly change. So be hopeful. Even when you're suffering from loss, be hopeful. What you need to do is, don't remain in sadness over the temporary loss that you've suffered. Rather, have hope in Allah's help and strive for conditions that will bring about the help of Allah. This is what we need to focus on. Strive for that situation that will bring about Allah's help. He gives victory to whom He wills, and He is the exalted in might, the merciful. It is the promise of Allah, wa'adallah. Allah does not fail in His promise, but most of the people do not know. So what happens when they suffer a temporary loss? They despair, saying things which are inappropriate about Allah. What we need to do is, we need to correct our situation. Because Allah is not unfair. His decisions are not unfair. His promise is true. We have to make ourselves worthy of Allah's promise of help. Most people do not know. What do they know then? They know what is apparent of the worldly life. Meaning their entire focus is where? In this worldly life. For them, the winning here and the losing here is all that matters. But they of the hereafter are unaware. They don't care about the real loss and the real win. أَوَلَمْ يَتَفَكَّرُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ? Do they not contemplate within themselves? They should contemplate inside themselves. Not just the body, but their souls, their essence. That who are you? What are you? What are you doing here? Think about yourself. Allah has not created the heavens and the earth and what is between them except in truth and for a specified term. And indeed, many of the people in the matter of the meeting with their Lord are disbelievers. Have they not traveled through the earth and observed how was the end of those before them? They were greater than them in power, and they plowed the earth and built it up more than they have built it up. And their messengers came to them with clear evidences. And Allah would not ever have wronged them, but they were wronging themselves. ثُمَّ كَانَ عَاقِبَةَ الَّذِينَ أَسَاءُوا السُّوءَ. Then the end of those who did evil was the worst consequence. Because remember, what we do is what we get. If we do evil, then the consequence will be evil. If we do good, then the end will also be good. Because they denied the signs of Allah and used to ridicule them. Allah begins creation. Then He will repeat it. Then to Him you will be returned. And the day the hour appears, the criminals will be in despair. Despair. They will have no hope. They'll be worried that we never thought about this day. We never prepared for it. We were consumed by the worldly life. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُمْ مِنْ شُرَكَائِهِمْ شُفَعَاء. And there will not be for them among their alleged partners any intercessors. And they will then be disbelievers in their partners. And the day the hour appears, that day they will become separated. On the day of judgment, people will be separated from each other. And as for those who had believed and done righteous deeds, they will be in a garden of paradise, delighted. They will be together. They will be delighted. This is real success.